This is Bits and Bobs with Kits and Bits and your host Lynette Delane. Today's guest is Shalini Nandan from Legally Shalini. Shalini and I are going to be talking about the chicken and egg relationship between client agreements and business process and how the two inform each other. So Shalini, welcome, and why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, Lynette. Well, I have a business called Legally Shalini, and I provide legal support to small businesses, but really what I end up doing, and which I love, which is probably what everyone ends up doing, is what they love, is having conversations with business owners and solopreneurs about their service and how they can lay down solid foundations, because legals is one part, financials is another part, both of which get drowned out in the noise of marketing your business when you're starting up. So sometimes it feels like, a small voice in a big forest, but eventually there will come a time in your business where you will need to consider your legal position and how you're dealing with clients, and that's the zone that I operate in.
Great.
Quite happily, I might add.
Good. And you're very good at it too. So let's talk about the whole client agreement thing, because for a lot of people, certainly myself included, didn't think I'd even need legals in my first, year while I was just sorting myself out. Didn't know what I thought I'll just copy something from the internet or whatever. What's the advice you give to someone on, one, when they need legals, and two, why they shouldn't copy from the internet?
Okay. Well, first of all, I think just in your intro, you talked about chicken and egg relationship that people have, businesses have. Like, do you start your business, then get your legals? Do you get your legals and then start your business? Easy. There are different processes at each time of your business development. So when you're starting up, there's a different set of setup legals that you need to have in place that have mainly got to do with how you register your business and all of that. It's client agreements come into play when you've done sufficient work on your business and you have developed a service and a relationship with clients. So once you're starting to see people and starting to charge for that service, even when you're not charging, you're interacting, what the dynamics of that is what you would then look at capturing in an agreement with your client. So it is a chicken and egg situation. Some businesses will require you to have a client agreement or terms and conditions up front because of the nature of the business. So if you're selling a product, for example, but if you're developing a service, then you can manage quite a lot of the communication with smart emails, right, to cover yourself until such time as you have enough clients and enough of a pattern in your processes to justify, to actually, then that's the indicator when you have a pattern to your processes that, okay, it's now time to start formalizing it and communicating that to my client, and basically educating people around you how you work, so that you attract the people that kind of will get how you operate. That's right. Rather than people who are completely at sea with what you do and how you do it, but still expect a magnificent outcome anyway.
And that was basically when I came to you. I'd known about you for a while and thought, that's something I'll get in the future when I'm a real business. I don't know what my terminology for what I was doing before that, but it was certainly when I hit a stage where I'd had enough regular clients, but for me it was when I hit the difficult clients, when everything had all gone to plan previously. People had ordered branded templates. I'd got the work done easily. They'd fed back at the right time. I'd fed back at the right time, and everything went smoothly. They paid the bill, and that was it. But it was when things became a little more tenuous of, hang on, they haven't actually provided this, but they still want their deadline met, but I haven't got everything I need in order to meet that deadline. So that was when it really started getting tricky for me, and that's when I engaged your services. So is that something you think people should wait for, or they should get it in a little earlier?
No, I think that they should start thinking about their client agreement arrangements, how their business is playing out, and capturing them in terms and conditions for their business, as soon as it appears that there is a method of business that they are enjoying doing, okay, because that's really what you want to cultivate in your clients.
Yeah.
So the whole client agreement or the whole business terms and conditions process is really for you to see, okay, this is what I'm doing. Let me quality assure it for myself.
Yeah.
And that quality assurance process is on a couple of levels. Firstly, of course, legally and with in terms of consumer law, you need to make sure that how you're actually doing business and how, you know, the interaction that you're engaging in is legal.
Yeah.
The second thing is the other QA process that people really undervalue, which is where my work comes in, is that when you actually see an agreement that's been written for you, that's about your processes, you immediately see what is going to work and what's not.
Yeah.
Because it's on paper and the whole process is written down for you as if you were actually engaging with a client, and straight away you can see that, yes, I can deliver that. No, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Or actually, that's not what I want the client to know.
Yeah.
What I would like them to know is this. And then we move on to the real valuable part, or the real deep part of the work, which is, well, now how do we explain, how do I have this conversation with clients? Because a big block that startups and solopreneurs and new business owners have is they have this fear that if they say to a client or a potential client, hey, I really want to work with you before you sign up, or here's my terms and conditions, I'd like you to have a look at them. But you see the conversation, they haven't become comfortable with the agreement themselves.
Yeah.
And they haven't become comfortable with the conversation that you should have. The agreement, when you're presenting to a client, is really an invitation, and the terms and conditions is really a platform for negotiation. So once you start looking at it as your friend, as opposed to this, heavy document, which they have been in the past, or rules, you'll find that the kind of people that you want to work with will get what you are trying to do, because your whole, your values and how you conduct yourself and how you treat people and what you think is fair and just will show up in the document.
Thanks for joining me for Bits and Bobs, an interview series for new business owners looking to avoid the pitfalls that we who have gone before have either already fallen into and climbed out of, or managed to skip over altogether. Please subscribe and watch other episodes where I, along with other business owners, dive into some less talked about and sometimes tough subjects, highlighting some of those I wish I had known topics, so that you can get your business going faster and easier. You can find my guest details in the show notes or on my website, kitsandbits.com.au.